Hey folks, it's Billy D.K.Y., the truth seeker that simplifies and demystifies. This is going to be my video on the human condition, revealed and solved. So there was a time when humans were in harmony with the essence of life, like wild animals are today. You also see the name, the human condition. I don't know if they didn't call it that, but you see it in Genesis when Moses talks about humans being kicked out of the Garden of Eden, and basically is a life of toil from that point on. And that's basically what we're going to get at today. And I'm not going to start from the Big Bang forward to when humans were in harmony with the essence of life. You know, you can go watch the Discovery Channel on that, because that basically covers that part of it. So again, let's start off where humans were in harmony with the essence of life. And even back then, humans loved pleasure and loved to be self-centered. However, just like the wild animals you have in your yard and out in the woods, they didn't have the luxury of indulging too deep into ego and pleasure. And it was basically kept at a minimum, or it was kept in a harmonious proportion, which didn't interfere much. However, as humans got smarter and more clever, and they evolved into the next level of success as a species, then humans had more options to indulge in pleasure and egotistical attainments and stuff like that. And it didn't happen overnight. It gradually, their options became more and more. Like I said, start here at being a wild animal, and it just slightly got more and more and more and more and more until we got to where we're at today. Which we're at today, we have massive abilities to be self-centered, to find egotistical attainments, and to indulge in endless pleasures. You know, to eat something like this today is really unheard of, to eat it like this. You know, plain potato. It's considered crazy. What are you doing? Mash it, putting salt and milk and butter in it. There's no way impossible. It's too nasty to eat raw, which is not nasty to eat raw. You just ate up with pleasure. And the mind's ate up with stupid and with the ego. So anyway, that's what's been happening. And the problem is, we've reached new levels. However, we don't understand what's really going on, so we indulge even deeper into those pleasures and egotistical attainments, where what we really should be doing is to continue to succeed as a species, but not falling into the traps of egotistical pleasure-seeking ways. Okay, and you also see it, to help you see it in just a societal thing where you're living out. Look at people who have everything they want. You know, rich parents, and they've got everything they've ever wanted with his kids, and they're just absolutely, completely miserable and unhappy as all get out. And then people who haven't really had a whole lot, they seem content and happy. Okay. Excuse me. So that's the human condition. Basically, we've fallen to prey to ego and pleasure in small ways over millenniums. And so that's why a lot of times you're miserable and you don't even know why, because you've fallen out of harmony with the essence of life. Okay. And that's what happened to me. I fell so far out of harmony, and I'm a very intuitive guy, and I know what's going on to me. You know what I mean? I know I'm out of harmony. I'm suffering. So now we've talked about the problem. Now it's time to talk about the solution. Because for any problem, there is a solution. If there's not a solution, it probably isn't a problem. The problem is you need to change something here. Like death. People want to overcome death. Death is not meant to be overcome. Death is not a problem. Death is a reality that you need to come to accept. That's the only problem, is not accepting it. Okay, so now let's talk about the solution. The solution is FWG, following the way of growth. It's those 9 principles. That's what I use to get myself, or not get back totally yet, but it's the path that I'm using to get back to harmony with the essence of life. I'm regaining what I lost through thousands of years of stupidity of my ancestors and your ancestors, our species stupidity. And that's what FWG is about. It's not about going back to the woods and being a wild animal. I actually tried it. I tried it for 30 days on my dad's farm, and it just really, it didn't feel right, and it just wasn't right. And basically, it's not about going back. And again, if you look at it falling the way of growth, what is it about? It's about growth. It's about continuing to evolve as a species and to grow. It's not about going backwards and being a wild animal again. It's about taking everything that worked when we were wild animals and continue to carry that forward as we evolve into a more highly evolved species. So that's really that's the human condition revealed, and FWG is the solution. And if you follow it, you'll have to come back to harmony. And this brings up another video I was going to do, but now I'm not going to do it. I'll just tell you right now. Getting back into so you're out of harmony. You're wanting to get back in harmony. Well, FWG is going to get you back in the most safe way possible. But a lot of times when people realize something's wrong, they want to change it all overnight, which that's a bad thing to do. And there we go. Okay, and so you want to get back in a harmonious way. You're not just trying to get back to harmony, but you're getting back in a harmonious way, and remember baby steps and all the principles. And to make that very clear, let's imagine you're outside, you've been stranded out in the cold, and you've got maybe a slight case of frostbite. What's the worst thing you can do when you come in the house? Put your hands under hot water. That's the worst thing you can possibly do. What should you do? You should slowly let the body warm back up naturally. Instead of avoiding the impulse to go put your hands under hot water, which would probably break and crack cells because it's too much change too quick. And it's likewise, if you're eating nasty, eating out foods in boxes, processed in some plant, and you're going to try to go back to plain, simple potatoes like this, you don't want to do it all at once. You want to baby step it because you want to learn each step along the way. So it's not only about getting back in harmony, it's about getting back into harmony in a harmonious way. And again, you're not going to force your way into harmony. The Buddha tried it. I mean, he got down to where he's up. I think they said he was so skinny that he could touch his spine from his stomach. That's pretty thin. You know what I'm saying? So, and emaciated and all that. So, again, get back to harmony in a harmonious way. To summarize, the human condition really boils down to two things. Humans they slowly over many years indulged deeper and deeper into pleasure and ego. They didn't understand to restrain themselves from it as they left the woods and entered into societal living. And I could go through more how that all came about, but that's not necessarily important. And the way to get back is to start giving up some of the egotistical, pleasure-seeking ways. And again, it's not about doing it all at once. It's about slowly progressing backwards and feeling the power of getting back in harmony and slowly allowing yourself to rid yourself of the ignorance that has been placed on you through thousands of years of humans screwing up and just not knowing what they're doing. And so since I got a few more minutes here, I'll talk about it. Basically, let's imagine the first scenario. Somebody develops, let's say you're out in the wild and somebody develops fire. I mean, this fire's not a bad thing per se. And then somebody gets the bright idea, hey, let's cook the potato. Oh, it's so much more delicious. First failure right there. Because you seeking the pleasure, and then somebody says, hey, just eat it the way it is. It's the way it's meant to be. Not, well, I don't like it cooked. You're just an old fuddy-duddy who don't want to have fun. You're unhappy. You're miserable. You're making the rest of us. We want to have fun. We want to be silly. And that's not the way it really is. You should be controlled. And I look at people sometimes, and I think they think I'm boring. And that is the exact opposite of what's really going on. I had a girlfriend once tell me this. She goes, you don't have nothing going on. I'm like, I got rid of everything so I can get on a spiritual path to be the most enlightened guy the world's ever known. Huh? I don't have nothing going on. I'm just going to change the damn world for centuries and millenniums to come. I ain't doing nothing. Just because somebody doesn't look like they're doing anything doesn't mean they aren't doing anything. So, anyway, I figured that might be helpful to somebody to figure out why you're in the situation you're in and how to get yourself out. Again, the FWG blog is the first link in the information section of the video. It's still a work in progress, and I'm continuing to work on a daily basis. And so anyway, that's all I have to say on the human condition and the solution. So until the next video, later folks.